What's up, nail friends? In today's video I'm going to be doing some extra long purple stiletto nails on myself. I'm going to show you guys this fun technique of glass nails with some art inks on top, which I really enjoy using. And then I'm going to show you guys actually how I remove these nails using a peel off base coat, which is pretty cool and fun, and that's how I've been doing my nails a lot lately, is the peel off base coat. So I'll show you guys that at the end. So if you guys are interested in that, just keep watching. Starting this set, I've already applied my extreme length tips. You guys know I love the extreme length tips. They're kind of like a almost stiletto shape, and then you just file them in shape. So first I'm going to go in with dehydrator. I've already prepped my natural nail for this. So if you're going to be using a peel off base coat, you don't really want to prep too much, just so it's easier to get the nails off, but definitely around the cuticle area so it looks nice and clean. And then I would normally go in with acid-free primer. I did in this set because I wasn't sure yet how to use the peel off base coat, but you don't actually really need the primer if you're going to be using the base coat. The base coat looks like this. It's called Berry M. I will try and find a link for you guys. So you're just going to apply 1 or 2 kind of thicker coats on your natural nail and just let that fully dry before applying on top. This was one of my first experiments with this. I actually find applying the peel off base coat first, then apply your tips on top, and then it's just a little bit easier for removal in the end. I let that dry, and now I'm going to go in with a thin coat of my Glitterbels glass slippers. This is the clear acrylic, and I'm using my Glitterbels number 12 brush. So I like to apply this before I shape my tips. I just don't like the feeling of filing the tips on with my natural nails. So since I'm not keeping these nails, I'm not applying this right at the cuticle area. But if you were doing this on the client, you would want to apply a clear base at your cuticle area and down, so that when they come back for a fill, you can just file back down to that thin clear base. Just makes it a little bit easier. After I let that base dry, I'm just going to file these nails into the shape that I want. So I'm going to be using my metal file board with the refills, and I'm just carefully filing them into a pointier, sharper shape. I just really love a nice long stiletto on myself, so that's what I'm doing here. And I do that on all the nails, and I kind of go over top of that clear base as well, just to, you know, file it and even it out and thin it out before applying my product on top. And here is how the nails look all filed and shaped. So I'm just going to wipe off all the dust, because you're gonna want to remove the dust. And this doesn't seem to affect the peel off base coat, so I'm just wiping off the nails and the dust with a alcohol wipe, a lint-free wipe with alcohol on top. And then I'm wiping it off on my hands as well. So the color I'm gonna go in with is called Deep Amethyst. This is a really pretty darker purple with some little shimmery pieces in it. So I'm applying this near the cuticle area, pushing it up close with my finger bent downward, and then I'm going to spread this down the nail. I want to leave the tip of the nail clear, so I'm just kind of applying this underneath, because I'm going to be applying glitter on top of this, and that will just give you that kind of like full clean cuticle area if you apply a colored acrylic underneath the glitter. So that's what I did here. I'm just picking up another small bead and putting it in an area that I kind of missed the color, and then I'm just gently feathering that down the nail, and I'm going to do that on the other side. I want this faded purple look on 3 of the nails, so I also did that on the pinky, and now I'm going to do that again on the thumb for you guys. So again, I put the color down close to the cuticle area, but then I use the very tip of my brush to push the product towards the cuticle area. Try to get that nice and even, and then I'm going to feather that down the nail. Just wiped off my brush, and I'm kind of using the clean brush to carve out that area that kind of overlapped the skin. And now I'm just going to pick up a little bit more product because I missed some on the right side there. So I'm just going to push this up close using the tip of my brush to move the product. Everything you do should be gentle and careful. You don't want to wipe off your product, so just use a gentle hand. So after I've applied that, I needed a little bit more for that fade, so I'm just applying more, making that even, and then fading and feathering that down. So the glitter I'm going to go in with is called Nicola. It is so pretty. It is a purple glitter base with some bigger chunky glitters in it. It's got kind of like a bluish purple glitter and an iridescent glitter. It's so beautiful. So again, I'm applying that near the cuticle area and then using the very tip of my brush to push that towards the cuticle before fading this down. And with applying that purple underneath, you have that nice dark foundation underneath, so you don't need to make this too thick, and a nice clean cuticle area already in place. So I'm just applying a little bit more across the nail, and then I'm going to, again, fade this gently down the nail. So I'm going to do that on my other two nails as well, just so they match, and then we're going to add some flakes. So the little flakies I'm going to be using here are from Get Buff Nails. I'm using two different ones because I wasn't quite sure which ones I wanted to use. So this is what they look like up close. You can't really tell what they look like until they're on the nail. So I dipped into my clear acrylic, and then I dipped into the pot of the flakes, and then you can just spread these on the nail. They're super thin and they're super pretty. So one of them kind of reflects purple, as you can see here, and the other one has a different like rainbowy reflect. I'm not sure if I used both or if I just stuck with the purple, but I'm applying it kind of in a diagonal from right to left and then down the nail so that the clear tip has that flaky glitter on it. Just make it look even more pretty. So I'm just applying that as well on the pinky, and I will do that on the thumb as well. So this set, I kind of just picked out all the colors and then I was winging the design. So what I decided to do was all the flakes on the pointer finger because I thought that would look really pretty with the art inks on top. So I just picked up a bead, like I said, of clear acrylic, and then you just dip into the pot of the flakes and then you can kind of spread it on the nail. This is super, super thin. These won't bulk up the nail in any way, and they just add like some really pretty shine and reflect to the nail. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of moving them exactly where I want them. You can layer these up, make them even more glittery, or you can just do a slight wash of them. Super, super pretty. So I thought the colors would go well together like this, and then it would just give the nail something a little extra special to look at. So that's what we're at right now. And then on the ring finger, I'm going to be doing kind of a marble design using carbon black and liquid silver from Glitter Bells, as well as the deep amethyst. So I'm just picking up the deep amethyst, and then I dipped it into the liquid silver as well. I placed it on the nail, and then I'm using the very tip of my brush to kind of move the product where I want it. And then I'm adding clear in the center of that because I'm going to be going in with the flakes as well. And then when I go in with the black, I want it to kind of spread out and not be too black. I want it to kind of like wash out a bit. So I'm also double dipping sometimes in the liquid silver and the carbon black, and then I'm going in with that purple now, and I'm kind of just washing this on the nail. I'm not really doing like a super marbled nail. I want this to be really washed out just because of the design I was going for, was kind of like a clear glass look with the flakes and the art inks. So marble is really fun to do because you can kind of just do whatever with it. And this is what I chose to do, using the clear to help wash those colors out. And then this is what the set looks like so far. Super, super pretty. So I'm gonna go in with those flakes and put them in the clear areas now, just so they match the other nails. The other nails have the flakes at the tip, and this will have it in the clear sections. Okay, so here's how this set looks so far, and then we can encapsulate these. How pretty are they? Oh my god, I love them. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with my Glitter Bells glass slippers, and I'm applying it on the tip first. I'm just placing it in the center and then gently pulling the product down with my brush. Then I'm gonna go in with a bead near the cuticle area. Again, I'm gonna wipe off my brush, and then I'm gonna use the tip of my brush to push that clear acrylic towards the cuticle area, and then feather this down into the bottom bead that I already placed. And I have my finger bent downward to help with gravity. And then I just use my brush to even that out. I like to apply my product really clean and even so that I have minimal finish filing to do at the end. So when you turn it to the side, you can see I need a little bit more product. So I'm going to add some more on this now to create my apex. So I'm just picking up a bead, putting it right in the center, cleaning off my brush, flattening the product, pushing it up towards the cuticle area, and then feathering the bottom half of that bead down so that I have an apex. Cleaning up the sides, trying to make this nice and even. I already encapsulated my thumb, so while my thumb is drying, I'm just encapsulating the next nail, and then I will show you guys me pinching the thumb. So what I do is I apply some product on one nail, move on to the next, and then I check to see if the first nail is ready to be pinched, and if it is, I'll pinch it, but if it's not, then I will move on to the next nail. So that's what I did here. It wasn't ready to be pinched yet, so I started working on the middle finger, and then I will go back and pinch the thumb, and then when the thumb is pinched, I'll pinch the pointer finger, and then I'll work on the ring finger, and then I'll come back and pinch the middle finger, and so on. So that's how I like to work. I do like to pinch the nails. It just gives it a little bit of a nicer, cleaner, kind of tapered look, and that just suits my nails a little bit better. But not everyone has to pinch or needs to pinch. I just personally like the way it looks, so you can skip this step if you want to. So you're just going to place the pinching tools on the side of the nail and the acrylic, and you're just going to give it a gentle pinch, and it should help bring in your sidewalls, help your C-curve, and make the nail look a little bit thinner on the sides. Okay, so here's how the nails look when they're all done and all pinched, and now we can finish file these. So I'm first going to go in with my metal file board and straighten my sidewalls. The nails are dry, so you can now file them. You want to make sure they're fully dry before you try and file. So I'm just pulling in the sidewalls and making this nice and pointy, going under the nail like so, and then going up around the side. And then I will go over this whole nail as well. But I'm going to show you guys that I actually decided to pick up a carbide bit and go around the cuticle area with it, just to clean up the cuticle area, just because I thought I might get a better, cleaner cuticle area with a bit instead of my hand file. So I'm just using this tiny diamond bit around the cuticle area just to clean it up after I filed this nail, and I'm going to do that on the other nails as well before filing them. So I think I was just thinking I could fully finish file by hand, but then decided it'd be a little bit faster if I just went in a little bit with a carbide bit. So I like to do majority of my finish filing by hand, but sometimes you need a little extra help with a file. So that's what I'm doing here. So now I'm going to go ahead and file the rest of the nails with my hand file. I'm going to go up and down at the tip, around the cuticle area, and just even out this nail. After I do that, I like to use a white buffing block, and I like to buff out any of the harsh scratches because those will show up in your top coat. Okay, so here's how they look after they've all been filed. And now I'm just going to clean off and brush off all that extra dust, take a lint-free wipe and some alcohol and clean on top and underneath the nails as well as my hands. And here is how they look. Okay, the next step when using art inks is to apply a matte top coat. So I'm not applying the art inks all over some of these nails. I'm just applying it on the clear nails, so the clear tips and then all the full pointer finger here. So I'm just applying that matte top coat. And this is the Empower Matte by Luminary Nail Systems. This one dries tack free, so that's why I like it. So I'm just applying this on that clear part, and I'm going to give that a full cure. And then we will go in with our art inks. So the art inks I'm using are from Apres, using number 7, 6, and 13. 2 purples and a white. So you're just going to take the art inks and kind of do whatever you want with them. They're kind of fun that way. You can just place them on the nail and then use the blending fluid to kind of like remove some of the product. So they're really fun to play with. There's no like way to make them perfect. You can just keep playing with them until you get the look you want. So I'm going in with one of the purples first, seeing how that looks, kind of just messily placing this on the nail and then using the blending fluid to blend it out. Also, sorry if you guys can tell I'm really out of breath. I am pregnant, 33 weeks, and it's really hard to bend over and talk fast. After I'm happy with the first art ink, I'm going to go in with that other purple art ink. And I thought that that looked really pretty together, so I'm just placing that down. And again, using my blending fluid to kind of remove some of that product and give it some of that texture. It'll make it look kind of like a marble stone. It's really fun to use. Then I went in with the white art ink and I'm placing that on the nail. I find the white art ink a little bit harder to blend out, so I always try to add just a little bit less than what I think I need. And then I'm also going to go in over top of the white art ink with more purple, and that'll just make it even more bright and vibrant. So like I said, you can just do whatever with this and have fun with it. So that's what I was doing here, just kind of like a messy marble art ink design, and I thought it turned out pretty cool in the end. So after my art inks have been fully applied, I'm just leaving them to dry, and then I'm going in and applying some crystals. I accidentally made this nail kind of look like a cross. That was not really what I was going for, but at this point I was so tired from sitting, being pregnant, that I just kept it. So basically I'm just applying these pretty black crystals, and then around the crystals I'm adding these kind of beads so it looks like a piece of jewelry. To top coat this design, I'm going to be using my Glitter Bells No Wipe top coat. I'm just placing that near the cuticle area and then going down the nail. You can really see that kind of texture the art ink gives. So art inks are really fun to use. I love using the art ink. So that's what I did here. I did this all over this nail and all over the other nails. And then when it comes to the crystal nail, I'm going to be using a small art brush to get close around the cuticle area. You're not going to want to put your top coat on genuine crystals, or you'll just ruin the shine of them and also make them kind of look like a blob. So avoid top coat on crystals. Also, how fun and pretty does this look when it goes from dull to shiny? It's so satisfying. Okay, so after the nails have been top coated, I gave them a full cure. I let it dry about 2 minutes. Then I apply my cuticle oil and rub it in. And then I wash my hands. And here is the finished set. What do you guys think? I loved the way these turned out. I didn't know where I was going with this set, but they turned out so vibrant and pretty. And I don't know, I just really, really like them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this set. Make sure you stay till the end here so I can show you guys how I remove my nails with that peel off base, which is so sad because they're so pretty. Also, I just want to say, let me know down below what you'd like to see next. I'm pre-filming a bunch of designs before my baby comes so that I can have some stuff up for you guys when I'm taking some time off. So if there's a color combination, a theme, anything like that, please let me know down below and I will try to do that for you guys. Also, which background did you prefer, that black marble background or this pretty bright floral background? Let me know down below. Okay, so when it comes to removing these now, what you're going to want to do is get really, really hot water. So almost boiling water, whatever you can stand basically. And you're just going to soak your nails in that boiling hot water for about 10 minutes or as long as you think you need. And then take a cuticle tool with one of these pointy ends and you're going to try to go underneath the nail and then wiggle the nail back and forth. So just kind of pop up one side. This shouldn't hurt or damage your nail because you have that peel off base. And then pull from left to right very gently. And then if it doesn't come up, you're going to soak it a little bit longer. So here I'm just kind of like breaking the seal on these nails and then I'm going to soak them longer. And then the water will get underneath and will cause the peel off base to kind of do its magic. So just kind of popping it up on one side, prying from left to right carefully, and then soaking. So I soaked for a few minutes longer and then you can see here it just peels and pops right off. So you're just going to want to, like I said, get the one side up and then soak. And then you can kind of pop them off. So if they don't come off easily, just soak a little longer. You might need more hot water if you've let your water cool down. But because I applied the primer, that made it slightly harder on this set. So now when I do this, I don't apply a primer. I just do prep, dehydrate, and then go right in with my peel off base coat. And then they come off super easily. But this was a little bit more difficult and I had to soak a little bit longer because I added that primer. So skip that step. But I also wasn't sure like if the nails would pop off while I was filing or anything. So that's why I tried it with the primer. But my nails seem to want to stay and I don't seem to have a problem with that at all. So hope this helped you guys. If it did, please let me know down below. I will link everything used in my description box. So make sure you check it out. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!